Here's how I went from absolute worse than a goldfish attention span to literally monk mode focus. You know how they say the average person has a worse attention span than a goldfish? You probably heard that a lot. I had an attention span worse than the average person, right? My attention span was worse than a goldfish, right? I couldn't read like one sentence. I couldn't close my eyes and just focus on my breath and meditate for a few seconds. That's how bad my focus was, bro. And it was so terrible to the point where that it literally destroyed my social life. Like, and this is what I say, it's worse than even the average person. Like when someone would speak, my mind would wander off into tons and tons of other thoughts. I would not even focus on what he was saying. And that person, right, who was speaking wasn't focusing basically. So it literally made everyone around me hate me because I couldn't even focus on what other people were saying. And this of course is because of tons of reasons, you know, like social media, TikTok and Instagram and of course like video games and porn and all these things destroyed my attention span. Now I'm happy to say that I read for 3 hours very, very easily. Like I wish I had more time to read. That's how much I love reading. And I meditate for 30 minutes every single day without fail. You know, I have complete focus and I have complete presence on what people are saying. And I fixed it basically. I went literally from worse than a goldfish, like worse than a goldfish, worse than the average person focus, to monk focus basically. And this is exactly how I did it. So Warren Buffett and Bill Gates were asked in different rooms, right, where they don't hear each other at all, what is the key to success? And the weird thing is that they both said the same thing, that the key to success is focus. They both said the key to success is one thing, it's focus. So focus basically gives you a massive competitive advantage over everyone else in everything you do. If it's business and work and money, if it's the gym, if it's everything at all. Everything, focus gives you a massive competitive advantage when you master. Because literally 99% of people, like the average people, right? The average person has an attention span worse than a goldfish. And a goldfish has like attention span of a few seconds. That's how bad people's attention span is. So if you build this skill of focus, you will literally destroy everyone else, all right? Now, what I realized after 3 years of self-improvement is that, this is the first thing and the biggest thing for me, is focusing is a skill. It's a skill like every other skill. Now, what I mean by focusing is a skill is that basically, in the beginning, I was never able to focus on anything at all, right? Just like I said in the story, I couldn't even read like a page or like meditate for like 1 minute. That was like pretty hard for me, right? So in the beginning, I was very bad and I basically sucked at this skill of focus. And that's okay, as Alex Hormozy. So I started with meditating for 1 minute because that's all I can do. And that by itself was like a bit challenging for me. And reading just 1 page a day. So when I started, I meditated for 1 minute and read 1 page because that's all I can do basically, every single day. And every week I would increase it by 1. So next week I would do 2 minutes of meditation and read 2 pages. Next week 3 and so on, right? And that's basically how I built up the skill of focus, because I sucked so much and I was so terrible on this skill. I had to start at level 1 because focusing is a skill. And in the beginning, I was still at level 1 and that's okay. It's kind of like imagine if a skinny kid, you know, a beginner, total beginner, came into the gym and said, you know, I want to bench 100 kilos. Right? Me and you would look at him like, man, you're crazy. Like, you're just a beginner. Like, you can't bench 100 kilos, right? Because your muscles are not capable of doing that, basically. So he has to start first with the empty bar, which weighs 20 kilos, right? And then keep adding weight from there, progressive overload basically, you know, because me and you, we've been going to the gym, right? We know this stuff, right? Progressive overload. It's the same thing with skills, right? The problem is, I thought that I can bench 100 kilos. I thought that I could read like 50 pages a day, like once, like that, right? Or I could meditate for like 30 minutes every single day. It doesn't work like that. I'm still at level 1. So I have to start with the 2 kilo dumbbells or the empty bar, or you know, the chickens if it was like a video game. It's exactly like video games. You know, when you're like in a video game, you have to start with like level 1, right? And then the more experience you get, the higher you go up in the level. It's exactly the same thing for me basically. I had to start at level 1, and I just kept increasing in the level, right? The more I did it, until now I can read for 3 hours and meditate for 30 minutes, because I basically just love those habits. I love self-improvement, I love meditation, I love reading. In the beginning I hated self-improvement, but now I love it because I'm actually good at it and my level is high in it, right? So the first thing is, focusing is a skill. A second thing that made me focus, and this is more of like a truth than something, but it's focus is not doing something, it's removing everything that's not that thing, not the thing that you're trying to focus on. And this is something I actually learned recently, right? I'll give you a story. You know, a few months ago, I was trying to focus on my routine. You know, I built this routine from 7 a.m. till 10 p.m. just work, like self-improvement basically. Work in the morning, meditation, journal, reading, you know, working out, everything, right? Just a stacked routine, self-improvement routine. And I was just never consistent on it. And I couldn't focus on my routine at all. You know, I would keep procrastinating. You know, if like the time for like meditation is like at 2, I would do it at like 4. You know, I would keep like listening to music and watching videos and things like that. But I sat with myself one day and I realized, hey, like, what is the thing that is making me not able to focus on my routine? Like, what is the thing that I'm doing instead of my routine, right? And I realized, as weird as it is, it was actually music. Like, I would wake up, you know, put my earphones in and just keep listening to music. Now, I'm not saying that music is bad at all. No, music is actually, there are studies that say music is very beneficial for you, but just in my experience, music was making me or distracting me from my goals basically. Like, I would literally like listen to music for like 1 or 2 hours straight. Like, that's how addicted I was to it. So I told myself, you know what, from tomorrow I'm not gonna listen to music at all. And the thing about this is, you know, I realized that when I stopped playing video games, social media, porn, things like that, it was very easy for me, and it's still like, it's very easy for me, because I eliminated all these bad habits, to eliminate anything else. So music for me wasn't really something that hard. Like in the beginning, in the first couple of weeks, it was very hard, right? But then I just got used to it, and I just got used to the silence and not listening to music. And I really recommend like doing legit music fast. Anyways, right? That second day, when I just stopped listening to any kind of music, right? Any kind of music, no classical even music, no rap, nothing. When I stopped listening to music, I literally focused like a monk. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, I focused, I followed my routine perfectly. And that is exactly what I mean by focus is not doing something. It's removing everything that's not the thing that you're trying to focus on, basically. And in my case, it's my routine. So when I want to focus on my routine, I remove everything else that's not the routine. Everything else meaning video games, porn, music, even friends, even like outings and things like that. I have to remove everything else that's not my routine, that's not my self-improvement. All right. And the thing is, bro, like people always ask me, like my friends, honestly, my friends always ask me like, why are you so extreme, man? You don't go out with us, you don't do this, you need to have like this work-life balance, you need to balance like your social life with your routine and all that. And all I want to say is, because I honestly don't care, because it was never the goal. It was never the focus. The focus, the only thing that's the focus is my self-improvement, which is basically my routine, because my routine is my whole day of self-improvement. That's the focus. So I have to remove everything else, and basically because I don't care about anything else other than self-improvement. That is the focus, right? Like the perfect day for me is doing my routine perfectly. That is what gives me the most fulfillment, and fulfillment is basically the highest emotion you could ever feel, and that is what gives me the highest fulfillment. Not parties, not porn, not video games, not music, nothing else gives me more fulfillment than my self-improvement routine. So of course I'm gonna eliminate everything else, and that's not extreme, that's me being focused. All right. So because for me, self-improvement and my routine is the focus, it is the goal. Everything else that's not self-improvement or my routine, I remove it and I eliminate it, because it was never the goal. Even if it's as simple as music, basically. Like, I like to put it this way, honestly, like if we really think about it, if you really think about it and you break it down to the first principles, what is all we have as humans in the world? What is everything we have? All we have, me and you, are two things. It's time and energy, nothing else. All we have is our time and our energy. That's all we have. All right? So if we break it down to the first principles, to the base, all we really have is just time and our energy. That's all we have. So just for like example's sake, right? If I have, this is just an example, but if I have 100 units of time and energy, 100, right? And I give, let's say, 20 units to self-improvement, to my goals. But I give another 20 to video games, and I give another 20 to parties, and I give another 20 to, for example, drugs and alcohol, and I won't make progress on anything, right? Because my time and energy, right, the 100 units are split in like alcohol and drugs and like video games and like self-improvement and everywhere, right? So I won't make progress anywhere, right? But if you get those 100 units, right, and you focus all those 100 units on your routine, you will literally make progress faster and more than anyone else. You will destroy everyone, because you, my friend, have the skill of focus. You gave those 100 units of time and energy to your routine, not to parties, not to porn, not to video games, not to anything, not even to your friends or outings or anything, but to your routine. And that is why you will succeed. That is why Warren Buffett and Bill Gates said focus is the key to success. And what I actually realized, and the best thing about all this is, when I gave all my focus, all my time and energy to strictly my routine, nothing else, I felt the most fun, the most fulfillment, the happiest I've ever felt in my entire life. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, this is the God's honest truth. I felt so fulfilled and happy that I don't need anything else to focus on but my routine, but self-improvement, right? More than anything, more than any porn or video games or junk food or anything. This is coming from someone who hated self-improvement, who was addicted to all these things. I hated self-improvement more than anything. I was addicted to porn and video games and junk food and social media. I was addicted to all these things, but over time, over a long period of time, because I've done self-improvement for such a long time, it literally became the most fulfilling and the most fun thing I have ever done in my life. I got addicted to self-improvement basically because I have done it for so long. So focusing is eliminating everything that is not the thing that you are focusing on. Not doing something, it's eliminating everything that is not the thing that you're ultimately focusing on basically. So that's the second thing. The third thing is focusing habits. Now, there are 3 habits that basically, remember when I said time and energy, these things increase your focus and your time and energy basically. These 3 main habits. These 3 habits, bro, literally 10x'd my focus, literally 10 times my focus on everything I do. So there are 3 habits that 10x my focus. First habit, meditation. Meditation is amazing. Like the amount of benefits meditation gives you are absolutely insane. You know, happiness, it lowers stress, it helps you focus, it helps you be present, lowers stress, lowers anxiety, like so many benefits for meditation. And meditation, I know like a lot of people like confuse meditation because there are so many different types of meditation, but all types of meditation are focused on just one core thing, which is basically you focus on one thing, which most of the time it's your breath. And when your mind wanders, you bring your focus back on that thing. So you close your eyes, you breathe normally, and you focus on the breath going in and out. And when your mind wanders, you bring your focus back on the breath. That's basically like doing one bicep curl in the gym, one push-up basically. That's meditation. And there are tons and tons of benefits to meditation. Tons of studies have been done on meditation. And of course it helps you focus and be present and be happy. All right? So that's the first habit, meditation. Second thing is fasting. And fasting is actually one of the most powerful habits to help you focus. Like right now, especially if you're like a content creator or you work on something that actually makes money. Right now, I haven't eaten anything at all, and my mind is present. I'm 100% focused on this video. I'm fasting, and I think there's an evolutionary aspect to fasting. I think, like, this is just me, and I know everyone's gonna hate on me because this is not scientific, but like, imagine when we were hunter-gatherers, right? When we used to, like me and you, imagine like a scenario, right? Me and you, we leave our wives and our kids in like the caves, right? And we go with like our spears and we go to hunt. We haven't eaten anything and we need to catch like a boar. Our focus will be so locked in to find a good boar, right? Because we're fasting. So fasting has been correlated to focus basically. So when you fast, our brains haven't evolved that much from the caveman days, from the Stone Age, from 200,000 years ago. So when our brain like realizes that we're fasting, it actually thinks that you're actually hunting for food. So it helps you focus more. And also a scientific explanation, that's the evolutionary explanation, is that when you eat, especially when you eat carbs, your body uses something like 65% of its energy to digest food. So basically, like the TLDR is, fasting helps you focus so much better. So much better. Like, I'm talking from experience, I'm talking from what's happening right now. I haven't eaten anything and I'm 100% focused on this video because I haven't eaten anything, right? I woke up, all I drank is water, right? I haven't eaten anything, I just drank water, and I'm recording this video. So meditation, fasting, and the third thing, but this is an advanced habit and it's honestly optional, but I just found this in my experience, is eliminating music. Like I just think like, I know music is beneficial and it's beneficial for you, and you know, studies, a lot of studies show that it improves sleep, it improves your mood, it lowers stress, it does all these things. The music is wonderful, I'm not against music, but a music fast, like when I cut out music, my focus just went through the roof. Like I have like monk focus because I stopped listening to music, and I'll actually make like a separate video on this. But I stopped listening to music completely, and I'll be honest, in the beginning, in the first like 1 or 2 weeks, it was really tough for me because I'm like a music addict. I listen to tons and tons of music, so it was really hard for me. But after that, I just got used to it. I just got used to the silence. I don't even listen to music when I work out or I read or I work. And I just love silence more than music. Like right now, when I listen to music, I get like a bit of a headache, right? So my brain has associated music with pain, so I stopped listening to music basically because I get like a headache. All right, so those are the 3 habits: meditation, fasting, and a music fast. All right, so that's how I went from worse than a goldfish, worse than the average person focus, to monk focus basically. Try it, it will change your life, and as always, we're in this together and we will make it.